favorite news sites. PS5 Digital Edition consoles are reportedly getting a quiet storage downgrade. What?
Yeah. So they're going back to their launch storage. So when the PS5 launched in 2020, it came with 825 gigs of storage on the SSD. Then when they upgraded the new models, that went up to a terabyte. Now in Europe, to save cost, they are going back to 825 gigabytes.
But it's only in Europe. It's not happening stateside yet, is it?
No, but I mean, the last time something only happened in Europe, it became a matter of time.
Yep.
So,
fuck. GG, everybody. GG's all around.
So it's, it's about reducing cost because the digital edition console has seen its price increase twice since launch in Europe, once in the US. And I cannot believe they're talking about doing a PS6 in like 3 years, 2 to 3 years.
There's no why. We're going through it right now. You can't be
just really going through it. And Sony, as much as we love and respect you, hold off on PS6 talks for at least a couple years.
It's
at
so
least
funny
until we get closer to the end of the PS5 tenure. Okay.
I mean,
Sony,
the PS5, the PS5 is already 5 though.
Yeah.
The PS5,
so if you're like working in the games industry, you're part of the crew that like looks at like planning consoles down the road. Lifespan wise, this is usually when you start planning, when you start talking about what you could do. It's just this lifespan I feel like has been getting longer and longer. I mean, maybe I'm wrong on that.
I mean,
or it feels like it should be getting longer.
Kind of a little column A and a little column B. Like I've noticed the life expectancy of PlayStation being like 10-ish years.
I mean, yeah, if you're gonna like ride the old one into the new generation, sure, like yes, that is the case.
That's what I did with the PS4.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like, and that's not, an oddity. It's just that, like, as someone who typically goes at launch or around launch, it's normally about a 7-year cycle for me. And I just think that right now, because you have to think, okay, let's say the next PlayStation is more powerful, right? Like let's assume that.
Yeah.
They're already not able to sell this thing at $500.
Right.
They're selling it at 500 5 years later.
Yeah.
So I'm just like sitting here going, okay, so PS6 is going to have to be more powerful. So is that going to be $600, $700?
But that's the thing, right? Yeah. Like it doesn't, we don't know what they're planning, but it's just like, I don't know if there's a market for that, especially in uncertain times. Like, I don't know if that's the way to go.
Well, because like if you're, and we talked about this last week. They're working on supposedly a hybrid console, a Switch style PlayStation.
Yeah, I heard about this.
And like they're gonna have 3 models. They're gonna have, the hybrid system, which will be around $500 to $550. Yeah. They're gonna have the lower end Series S equivalent for around that same price, maybe $450. And then what you will call a more traditional PlayStation 6, like what would normally be considered the real one, will be around $700.
That's right. We talked about this last week. They're gonna probably try this multi-pronged approach.
And I mean, if that's how you gotta do it, I guess, like, because I feel for most people, and I've said this before on the show, $500 is kind of the limit for people when it comes to spending on a gaming device.
Yep.
Be it a graphics card, be it a console, be it a handheld. Well, you see it in the handheld space all the time. There's plenty of handhelds that are above $500, $600. The most popular ones are the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally, which you can easily get for $500 to $600.
Right.
Like, yeah.
I think there's also a matter of. I think there are enough people out there that are willing to pay a lot of money if that's the only place to get this, the most good experience. If that, like, there are people who are willing to pay for a Steam Index, but like the bar for a decent VR experience is way lower, and that's kind of where I think a lot of those sales are. That's why the Meta Quest gets a lot of
so
those
popular.
sales.
Like, well, and I said Steam Deck, but like,
yeah, I know.
It's
I'm providing an example.
VR space.
Yeah,
yeah.
I have VR on the
space.
brain because I finally got my VR headset set up, so I can do some VR stuff. So that's just been on the brain.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, like, so I think like there are people like me who, yes, like they're willing to pay for a better experience and pay significantly more. Like, I bought the PS5 Pro. My graphics card is a 5080. Like, yes, I'm willing to pay the money for the better experience. That's not most people. Like, you go on Steam and like, what is the most popular graphics card on Steam? So it's a 4060. What most people bought the regular PS4 and the regular, and currently the PS5 Pro's out. They'll buy the regular PS5.
Yep.
Or like that's just because the cutoff point I feel is $500 to $600. That's the cutoff point. Most people not willing to go above it.
Right.
You see in the graphics cards. Sorry, go ahead.
That's fine. There's also like a chunk of people that are still hanging with their PS4s. There are people who are still hanging with the last generation console, and console manufacturers like, you should upgrade, please.
Yeah, well, because we no longer have that thing that would happen where 2, 3, 4 years into a console you get a price cut.
Yeah.
You look at the PS2, for example. PS2 launched at $300. By the time 2004, 4 years later, came around, I want to say they were $200.
Right.
Like maybe $150. But yeah, like it's like they went down over time, versus now it's the PS5 is more expensive.
Yeah.
Than when it launched.
And I mean, if that continues, then I don't. It's kind of tough for them. They might as well aim higher, I suppose, with the next console if they think this is going to be continuous.
I mean, I think the handheld market is a very clear, like, well, this is how we can keep it to $500.
I think it's a smart move. They should do it.
I do too. And then I think that and they saw the lower spec model work for Xbox. Like, most people who bought an Xbox bought a Series S.
Right.
Yeah, so so like you look at the PS4. Even the PS4 only had one price cut. It went from $400 to $300, but it still hit $300. Like now it's you're looking at $500 to $550 for a digital or a physical PS5. You're looking at $370 to, I think it's $600 for an Xbox now. Yeah, it's just the core price of this hardware is just expensive, and it doesn't go down in price anymore.
Right.
The software is legitimately cheaper than ever. Even at $80, a video game is wildly cheap adjusted for inflation. It's
just yeah, when you think about like coughing up that money for a console, and then like you add up a decent selection of games on top of it, it's a lot.
But yeah, if you're buying full $70 games, but you look at games like Mafia or Expedition 33, they're $50.
Yep.
Silksong just came out for $20. Stuff like that.
Absolutely. It's gonna be interesting. I think the conclusion we came to last week was like you got to do them both. You got to have the handheld come out at less powerful, at a decent price that the average person can stomach for their mainline console, and then you put out the big one that is trying to push the technology forward, and there is a group out there that will throw down the money to make that happen.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense. It's just the floor now though is still just so expensive. Like that's
Unfortunately, there
'cause,
just doesn't seem to be a way around that.
Yeah, and I think that's going to have a lot of people playing, and you're seeing it, especially in the under 25 group. You're seeing people sitting on old video cards longer than ever. You're like the 3060 is the second most popular graphics card on Steam, and that thing is 5 years old.
Oh yeah.
Like you're seeing people sit on. There's still people on PS4s. That's still happening. Not nearly as much. PS5s are still selling.
Right.
But you're seeing people sitting on their PS4s still. You're seeing people, just hang on this old hardware forever because you don't see PS4 to PS5 now is a huge upgrade actually. But like if you're on a like 3060, going to a 5060 is not a huge upgrade.
Sure.
Just like, I have a Steam Deck OLED. I look at the ROG Xbox Ally X, which is going to be the new King handheld, and I'm like, that's not that big of an upgrade.
Right.
It's just that the upgrades are also smaller than ever. So yeah, I could totally see. And the real dirty secret is if devs optimized more and publishers let them optimize more, then games would run fine on the current hardware. So
yeah. I don't know. It's I think there's still a lot of life left in these consoles, especially with prices being really weird right now.
Well, yeah, and then you're looking at the stuff that's getting ported to the Switch 2, which is a 10-watt handheld. It's like, okay, then like, yeah, why do we need a new PlayStation?
Right.
Well, why do we need this? And this shrinkflation shit is actually kind of funny to me, at least. Shrinkflating PS5s.
Yeah.
Baby, let's go.
Emily, how are you on? What's your attitude on consoles? Like, how has it been these last couple? How have you been feeling?
I mean, I'm just lucky that I got my consoles before the hikes.
Yes, for sure.
Because like I paid $250 for my Series S.
Yep.
Yeah, that is a $370 device.
See?
Amazing.
And then just over $500, including taxes, for my PS5.
Yep. I same boat. My base PS5 in the living room was a launch unit 500. I paid also $250 for my Series S. And then my Xbox Series X. It was right around launch. I ended up paying like $30 more than MSRP for it. I've told this story. I was on Facebook Marketplace and some dude's like, I got this for Christmas. I'm not using it.
Yep.
And
helps.
so I was like,
fuck it. Might as well.
Yeah. So that was $530, which, that $30 would have been the tax. So yeah, like I legitimately, every one of these devices that I bought 5 years ago was not even adjusting for inflation, significantly cheaper back then.
Yeah.
It's and I remember you bought a PS5 before the price hikes, Aaron, and I was just like, yeah, no, the economic climate is about to be such. If you're buying one, you should do it now.
Yeah, soon after the election, like all the talks of tariffs and stuff is just like, this is gonna start getting bad. I need to do this now while I have money.
Yep.
And this is why we were talking about panic buying a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
We're not recommending it, but we're also not recommending it.
There's smart panic buying,
There is smart panic buying. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, I did the try to beat the tariffs computer build, and that ended up
I worked in your favor.
It
got it
mostly
built.
yes, I have an amazing computer now, and the only thing bad I can say is like, prices of graphics cards, have gone down a little bit recently,
Yeah.
but it's not enough to where like, okay, how is this supply going to be? And to be fair, the model of graphics card I got actually didn't go down in price at all. It went down in price $10.
Oh, well then.
I was gonna say, how is Jarvis running now?
Jarvis 2.0 is fantastic. He's amazing.
Good.
Wonderful.
He's I am playing pretty much every single game in 4K 60 and and then like if I'm on my monitor, 1440p, I'm hitting like 100 to 200 FPS easy.
Nice.
You'll be
It's
riding
fantastic.
that thing into the ground. So
Yep. No, I'm gonna ride this goddamn computer into the sun, or at minimum the motherboard and the processor.
okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
Yeah. Yep. Well, all right. Yeah. Hope you got your PS5 digitals when it had decent storage. I mean, it's still, it's a downgraded storage, but it's not killer. It's just the prices are going up either directly or indirectly.
Yeah, no, you buy your external hard drive, I guess.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Pretty much.
Okay. Well, that's that story.
I have a launch. I have a launch unit. It had 825, and I put another hard drive in it. So there you go.
All right. All right. Next.